Like and subscribe right now, or this spider will crawl on your face while you're sleeping.
There's nothing scary about a toy, right? Wrong. These seemingly harmless toys can be some of the most terrifying things on Earth. There's no doubt about it, these toys can be straight up frightening. Children love their toys, but after a few weeks, even the most coveted piece gets tossed in the trash. That baby doll that every 5-year-old pines over is left in a dark corner after the novelty wears off. We can only hope that all the harshly discarded toys never decide to revolt, or we would have a huge problem on our hands. And on that note, let us get into 10 scary toys caught on camera and in real life. Number 10. Moving doll. Dolls are meant to be cute little toys to have parties with and play dress-up with. But instead, there seem to be a great amount of weird stories about dolls going around. Horror films probably do get their plots from something based in reality, and if you are already scared of dolls, I do not suggest you watch the film Annabelle or its sequel. You may never want another doll to enter your home again after you hear this story. This unfortunate little girl had been complaining about creepy things her toys were doing, so her worried father decided to place a camera in her room to see if there was even a shred of truth to his daughter's tall tales. The eerie footage shows the doll ever so slightly tilting its head, as if to get the little girl's attention. Maybe dolls get jealous? This one sure didn't like being left out of the tea party even a little.
Before we move on, I've got a little challenge for you that'll take 5 seconds to complete. So here's the deal. You just leave a like on this video, smash that subscribe button, and hit the notification bell, and you'll get 25 years of amazing luck. Try it. It really works.
Number 9. Toy Soldier. This particular incident was caught on camera as well, and is pretty jarring to watch, as one has no idea what is truly going on. The first few seconds of the clip seem quite ordinary and normal. In the frame, you see a toy truck with a toy soldier lying on top. They were probably left there by a kid who was playing with them and must have forgotten to pick it up later. After the first few seconds, it becomes quite apparent that the soldier is making slight movements, and then it starts moving a tad more vigorously until it falls flat from the truck onto the floor. But it does not stop there, as it keeps moving until it is completely out of frame. Not even a few seconds pass that the truck starts moving as well, and it too zooms out until it no longer can be seen. A lot of people were calling bluff and saying that the truck was probably moved by using a remote control, which could very well be true, but that doesn't explain the moving soldier, does it? We have a hunch that there might have been some ghosts around moving them to cause a little scene. Number 8. Woody Lives. If you have ever watched any of the Toy Story movies, which you probably have, then you know toys are a lot more than they seem to appear on the surface. They have entire lives that they live out aside from them just being a source of entertainment for kids. In this particular footage, it appears that Toy Story might actually be sprung from reality. A father and his son are at a toy store pondering and looking over at a Woody doll. The dad says into the camera that he and his son just saw Woody move. He then proceeds to zoom in on the doll, and you can clearly see that he is not standing upright in the correct position like every other toy. Instead, he is slouched at the bottom of the box, as though he was trying to get out, but his plans were foiled by the father and son duo. We wonder what might have happened if no one was around to look. Would he have successfully gotten away? Alas, we may never know. Number 7. Terrifying Baby. This video footage is the reason you should never mess with your toys. Why, you might ask? Well, turns out they could very well be alive. The footage begins with a girl talking about how mean she and her friend had been to a baby doll they found up in the attic. Some of the things were that she threw it down the stairs, held it under water, and subjected it to other horrible acts. After this, the doll began to randomly laugh, and this scared the girls out of their minds, so they threw it down the stairs once more out of fear. They went back to pick it up and thought that perhaps the doll was laughing because it had been accidentally turned on. When they went to check the switches, it had been turned off the whole time. The doll eventually stopped making noises, but continued to move around in its place. Truth be told, the video was quite scary to watch from the comfort of our homes. Imagine what it was like to actually be there.
We put its face underwater and we chucked it down the stairs.
We were like squishing its face.
And it just randomly started laughing.
Number 6. Elf on a Shelf. Have you heard of Elf on a Shelf? Of course you must have. A lot of people use them as a way to spread holiday cheer. But after watching a few clips, it can be seen that they spread nothing but creepiness. This particular incident unfolded in the Northern Life newsroom in 2013. In the video footage, you can see the elf as clear as day sitting on an office desk. The office seems to be entirely empty, as everyone seems to have gone back home for the night. Then you catch a glimpse as the elf's eyes start to move around. Now, this is not really a cause for concern, as this could have been edited using special effects. But what happens next will truly shake you up. The elf begins to make its way around the desk. He goes as far as to turn on the Christmas lights of the miniature Christmas tree on the desk. Then he decides to walk up to the camera and stares directly into it for a bit. Not going to lie, it was quite alarming to see. After all this, he starts to run all around the office. If you have ever doubted any of these tales, one look at this footage will clear up your skepticism. Number 5. Beanie Boo. I think it's pretty safe to say that we all love stuffed animals. They comfort us and make us feel safe, and it's quite undeniable that they are seriously adorable. I mean, that's usually what they are like. But this incident is quite the exception. The video begins with a disclaimer saying that the person is at a loss for what to do. She and her partner Tom were asleep in bed when they were woken up by a loud sound. It sounded as though something had fallen in the room next to them. She tells Tom to check it out. When he came back, he was at a loss for words. He told her that their Beanie Boo was in the middle of the room. Since that was not where they had left it, they were pretty shook up. They made the decision to go back to bed, but to leave a camera in the other room recording everything. While the Beanie Boo didn't move for the rest of the night, it instead decided to wave at the camera like he knew he was being watched and couldn't care less. Number 4. Furby Dolls. Furbies made headlines when they were first released, as they were the first robots ever developed and mass-produced, but their launch did not go as planned. Several times they were caught on camera when these new toys would absolutely freak out and let out a most horrible screeching sound, yelling gibberish and making weird facial expressions that could stop your breath midway. Turns out that the computer chips in them were very unstable and usually malfunctioned, sending the Furby into a string of random frightening behavior that would traumatize any child in its presence. Number 3. Creepy Doll. Back in 2018, footage surfaced of supposedly the creepiest doll in the world. It appeared to show the blood-stained puppet following the camera with its eyes. The doll was found with a bottle of blood near it after appearing in the unknown cemetery overnight. A lot of people accused it of simply being an optical illusion, but said that that did not stop it from being utterly scary. Others even compared it to Chucky, the murderous doll possessed of the soul of a serial killer from the Child's Play film series. And with that, it's now time for today's subscriber pick. Today's photo was sent to us by a subscriber. If you come across a photo online and want to know more details about it, just send it over to us. We might even feature it on future videos. Number 2. This picture shows Elmo with a kid. Elmo is a Muppet character on the kids' television show Sesame Street. He is a furry red monster with a falsetto voice, and he refers to himself in the third person. Number 1. Doll collection. Most of us have played with Barbie dolls at some point in our lives, but what does not make sense are the people who insist on carrying creepy collector's dolls. Like, seriously, what is up with that? These particular dolls are crafted out of porcelain and look as though they walked right out of a horror flick. In this video clip, you see someone who is filming their doll collection. The dolls are enough to raise the hair on someone's back, but what you see next will seriously knock the air out of you. Halfway through the clip, you can very clearly see one of the dolls begin to move. If you have a fear of dolls, it would be wise not to watch the video at all. I mean, really, why keep something inanimate when it could very well come alive and hurt you? And that concludes our list of 10 scary toys caught on camera and in real life. Let us know in the comment section below which one of these you are terrified of the most. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell icon.